All right, ready? You ready? Are you on top of it? Yeah, stoked? Woo! Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's episode 400. 400. Holy smokes. Oh, if you have a problem. We've got some raffling to do. And I got nothing to bring to the raffle. Mystery Michael gave me one of the most amazing shiny shirts in human history and gave me another one. So I've got a brand new shiny shirt. Spectacular rainbow shine. Look at that thing. Metallic flakes and everything. And I know one of you wants to own this. So we're going to be giving it away as well. We've got the shiny shirt. We've got the Nature's Boner calendar. We've got the shiny shirt mug. Aw. We've got shiny shirt coasters, which is all wrinkly crinkly. Shiny shirt Christmas tree ornament and the massive shiny shirt calendar, complete with my birthday written somewhere in there. So now the cat's yelling to come in because it's so exciting. He wants to be a part of it, right? Is that what you want, Fatty? Come on. Come on. There we go. All right. Chill Batman's in the house. Monkey Butt's now like, oh, he's going to sit on my bed. Shall we do raffles throughout the show? I think I'm going to keep names in the raffle. So if you win something, you have a chance to win something again. Does that seem okay? Like, yeah? Oh, Jiggish says, pass my raffle on to someone who wants it. Okay, so if you win something, Jiggish, we will throw in the garbage. All right. It was just like, I don't want that shirt. Excuse me. Okay, so we got to do that. We've got to do that. Boom. 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 Okay, there's a spreadsheet, everybody, and Jiggish is in there because he is. So I gotta take that. I gotta copy all that. I have to put it in the random name picker. I gotta put all the names in there. Control, and then I've got to delete the like 2000 freaking. Actually, I should just scroll up and delete from there. I think there's like 2000 extra blank spaces in here. That's annoying. I should have figured that out ahead of time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, Peach Sunday was the last one. All right. Boom. And delete. Delete all those. So happening in the world. It looks like Bill Pulte is trying to get the AMC people on board with Bill Pulte. Kais basically said that he's going to be doing a proxy fight for the board, which, you know, AMC's market cap right now is like 1.3 billion. So, it doesn't take too much if you're a rich guy to pull upwards of 10% of the stock and initiate a proxy fight, because you'd easily have more votes than the entire board and you could win that pretty easily. Oh, there we go. Boom. All right. So, entry number 1, we will do 4 coasters. Got 4 lovely coasters here of me lounging in a shiny shirt, which I know you've always wanted to be able to put your drinks on that. So, 4 coasters going to go. Wrong conclusion. And Wrong Conclusion was our biggest donor, so they get to pick our charity for next month. So whatever charity you want, so long as it is in YouTube, Wrong Conclusion, you have the chance to do that. So Wrong Conclusion, connect with me on Reddit. I will get you the coasters, and you may win other things because I'm keeping names in here. So let's write down Wrong Conclusion. Wrong Conclusion. Coasters. Coasters. Okay. We'll do another one here in a little bit. So coasters are down. Boom. Lucre Speed is passing on the raffle as well. People just don't want that shiny shirt, do they? Okay. What's happening? The Chinese markets, like market, like for wares and fare, they are starting to eschew luxury brands in favor of discount services in large appeal. There's several companies that are like 2 yuan bread companies, so get bread for 30 cents per bread, and they're starting to rake it in, selling like 10,000 loaves a day. So they are and several discount food companies are looking like they're going to do public offerings, looking to raise hundreds of millions or billions of dollars here in the U.S. These are Chinese companies that sell only crap in China, but they're going to be doing IPOs in the U.S. markets to raise money. So you know what happens when the Chinese IPOs do their thing? Because they're squirrely as heck. So yeah, so there's that. What was anything else I was going to add, Monkey? I don't know. We'll figure it out as questions and things start coming in here. So butterflies? Oh, butterflies. Okay, just steer you down. Okay. Steer you down back in.
Houston, we have a problem.
Woo! Look at these two. Yeah, look at that little fat stinker. And the monkey dog who's hating every second of it. Oh, we hate it so much. You do. You absolutely loathe the cat sitting on the bed with you. But you know what? Tough tits. You know, deal with that. Okay. Jeff Riggs, welcome to Houston with a Problem. Well, thank you for welcoming everybody, Jeff Riggs. Zuma God do with Nub Thursday show. Ah! Phil Clayton, 400 shows, Houston, congrats on the landmark. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people. Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to do. Like, subscribe, share, help old ladies with their groceries. Okay. Bojangles, here's 400 more. Woo! Jason Cage, holy crap, congrats. Here's to another 400. Hell yeah. Says 654. Philip Clayton, I like Pulte, but I trust Adam Aron about as far as I can throw him. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 50 more times. I must be addicted to being kicked in the balls. Yeah. Adam Aron is the classic definition of an overpaid executive. He is exactly what we've been rallying against. He produces no value and takes a whole bunch of it. He sold $45 million in stock and purchased 0 shares. So he receives these giant bonuses in cash and in equity, and he sells the equity. When the company was doing its worst year ever, they lost $4.5 billion during COVID. Adam Aron took a $20 million bonus. Something like $1 billion in cash and bonuses has been paid out to the board and executives. And they're posting losses between $900 million and $4.5 billion a year. Their plans to pay off debt have been done the shitty way. They keep mass selling stock to short hedge funds. Saw today they're going to sell another $25 million in stock off market to someone specific, and I don't know who it is. So, you know, they're giving away control of their company to short hedge funds, which is a great way to destroy the company. So, he needs to go. He and the rest of the board and all the BCG dudes, they just need to go away and have somebody much, 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 much better who actually owns stock involved. That is my opinion on that one. DBWA, 420. Speculation? Yeah, I put a typo in the title. I fixed it. It's now speculation. Eagles, Josh on. Houston, the boss. Sought a similar question as the other day. Can Ryan Cohen, with the new policy, use GME money to buy its own options in the company stock? Well, they have money allocated for potential buyback in the future, but they haven't used it. So I think that if they did do that, they would have to purchase options from that money unless they got approved for more. That seems how that would probably work with the SEC. So, yeah, sorry, my throat's still a little. Nah. I might have bronchitis or something. I don't know. Yeah. Philip Clayton, it's a typo. It should be ejaculation station. Well, we've been edging for so long. When we do ejaculation station, that's what's gonna go to the moon, I think. Andrew Stewart, Houston, congrats on 400. This is an Andrew Stewart shirt, by the way. Lovely, beautiful teal Andrew Stewart shirt. Just more aqua. I don't know. It's lovely, regardless. It's a great summer shirt. It's a very light cotton. Holy smokes. Congrats on 400. What device or invention from science fiction you want to be real? Cold fusion reactors. That's cold fusion reactors. I want that to be real. Number 2, probably like room temperature superconductors. Yes, that's what I'm leaning towards. Crayola for breakfast. Hello. Derek Course, only 20 more episodes to go, then bread me. Well, 420 episode, I guess, will be coming along, huh? Derek Course, what do you think about someone not using their real name? I mean, I'm like the only dude, probably me and Jackson Hunter were the only ones who used their real names out of everyone in the YouTube sphere. Because everyone else, they use like their pseudonyms and nom de plumes, and some of them wear costumes and stuff. I probably should have capitalized and done OnlyFans for you guys or something, but here we are with our shirts on and animals in the closed caption box there. Picture in picture box. That's what I'm looking for. Gorilla for breakfast. I finally got another car. Enter the reliable 2015 Honda Civic. There you go. I might need another car. My sister broke mine while I was in Miami. It's shitbox. Got quirky things. Showing her how to drive it. She's in the driver's seat, and she decided when she moved the seat forward, which has a button. You just push the button, and it goes, and it moves forward. She tried to pull the seat forward by pulling on the steering wheel and snapped the, what was it, manifold? No, not a manifold. Bracket, brace, whatever. It's a big aluminum thing that holds the steering column in place, and just snapped like the bottom part of it off. So now my steering wheel just kind of dances around as if it's a yoke, and it's probably going to be the death of me until I can either get that fixed or get another car. So, yay. So, that'd be lovely. Congratulations on the new vehicle. Derek Horse in general, but also someone like PP. I think some people, if you want to, you can find out PP's name. It's like Arthur or something. But like, a lot of folks are worried about doxing and stalkers, and I already have a stalker who's doxed me to the entire world. So like, who gives a shit if I use my real name or not? He's already provided enough info out there for people to find me if they really, really want to. So yeah. But I understand the urge to use a nom de plume, use your internet name or whatever. So, I think it's okay. I get it. People do it. Yeah. The chill face. Ooh, speculation sounds dirty. How do we do it? Lisa Sa. Well done for 400 shows. Did you see the price action on TTOO today? TTOO. Up 45% during regular hours. Can you see it squeezing further? I wonder if they announced earnings. I was involved with them earlier with calls, and holy smokes, they're up really high. They're at 745. Damn, son. would you look at that? Whoa. So they must have announced earnings of some kind because they were down in like the pennies range, unless they did. Yeah, they're down. They were down. Oh, they must have done a reverse split because they were at like 40 cents. So they must have done a 10-to-1 reverse split, and that's why they're at that. Okay, that makes sense. But TTOO, they have the test for the fungus that's killing everybody. So they've got the only FDA-approved test the hospitals need to use to test to see if they've got the spores in their hospital that, get people's lungs and then can't do anything about it. You become a dead fungus person. So it makes sense. They announced, what was it, back in September? Oh, they must have done like 100-to-1 reverse split. Okay. Because they were like 30, 40 cents. I think September is when they announced they got the FDA approval. And they had that little spike there. So they must have done a 100-to-1 reverse split. So they are way down then from where they should be. Because if they got the only test, and hospitals have to buy this test, they've got like guaranteed income coming in. TTOO, anything interesting? Market cap's only 20 million. Goodness gracious. Seems like they're gonna have more than $20 million in sales. So, I mean, it's rally, but considering if they did a giant reverse split, it's not. Oh shit! God damn it! How many shows? I made it a few shows without doing this, right? To keep track of how many shows I did.
Houston, we have a problem.
I'm disgusted. Utterly disgusted with myself. Butterfly intro off. Okay. Chi-centered. Hi, Kev. I forgot what I was talking about. TTOO. Yeah, the stock price has definitely fallen off a cliff since they did whatever reverse split they did. So, Case Chapman, congrats on 400, my man. Thank you. Fabrizio's plopping here. What's the eyes of African? Ludicrous Speed, congrats on 400. We're better off with January MOAS, so we have time to deal with taxes. Next week works for me. Okay, I'll take it. I honestly don't think we're going to see a play made regards to the credit bid or whatever until that pump and dump lawsuit is taken care of. Judge sure is taking a sweet time to make rulings on that one and be done with it. Excuse me. Get the hiccup burps. Okay. Comfy sofa. Thieves nicking all the bus stops in our area. Where the fuck did they get off? I blame Jason Blackwell for everything. Katie Chapman, quick question. As an educator, are you concerned that so many teachers are struggling with Gen Alpha? I watched a TikTok on it this morning and spoke with my wife about them. Apparently, they're bad. I have not had to deal with them yet. I probably won't for another decade or so. And by then, hopefully, they've worked out whatever it is that's the problems with them kids. Yeah, I had to deal with No Child Left Behind people who were utterly illiterate. They couldn't read, they couldn't write, they couldn't do math. They were somehow in college because I guess somebody else wrote their essays for them. And they were very remedial. Like, I took what was an algebra class and had to turn it into a basic arithmetic course because they didn't know basic. They didn't know their times tables. They didn't know how to add, subtract, divide, any of the basic stuff you'd expect somebody who graduates from high school to know. They didn't know it. They knew how to answer tests, but they didn't know what those answers meant in any way, shape, or form. The No Child Left Behind people were quite useless, and I feel very, very, very sorry for any of you who went to school during that era because you got shafted big time. When they got rid of No Child Left Behind, the next generation I got of students were functionally so much superior to the previous generation. They were amazing. Like, I didn't have to teach remedial math to them. They knew it. They knew the remedial math. So I actually taught like the algebra and trig and calculus courses to them. The Gen Alpha people, I think a lot of them went feral during COVID, and it's going to take a lot of reprogramming to fix them. And then their parents went feral too, so their brains are all broken. Plus, like, everyone has, like, you know, it's like lead in the gasoline, right? Shaving some IQ points off. I think COVID shaved a significant portion of the population's IQs significantly. And we kind of just threw the kids back into school, and they just kept getting COVID over and over and over again. You know, there may or may not have been vaccines available when they started getting COVID. So I think they've got some, I don't know how you fix dead brain cells. I don't think you do. I think you just have to deal with the problems they cause, and I don't know, stick them all on a ranch or something. But yeah. OG, the Star Killer. This waiting is getting ridiculous. It is. Bosmang, Houston. What's new with BBBY when MOAS? Nothing specifically new outside of last week when Dr. Monkey got the transcript from a hearing in September showing that the exclusivity period ends January 18th. So what that means for us, credit bid by them? I don't know. Every time if someone throws out a date, it's always wrong. It's that old saying, everyone has predicted the end of the world has been wrong. So this is all, it's the power we have right here. This is all we can do. We're not the decision makers. We're not the ones pulling the strings. We just twiddle our thumbs and just wait patiently for something interesting to happen. And make YouTube shows and Reddit posts and twiddle our thumbs. So get twiddling. Derek Cohorse, headphone user, you just Ric Flaired me in the kitchen. The college girls love Ric Flair. All right. D, fuck yeah. Ixo Tuckeroxy. What's up, Houston Weed? The opposite of down. Dog Mom, great job making it 400. Thank you. And we did almost $2,000 for our Charity Tuesday. Well, I wish I had more energy for just Charity Tuesday, but I'm still like half functioning from where I normally am. So I just feel like I didn't have the zazz Charity Tuesday needed. I tried, but we made it. You guys got me over the hump. We got $1,919 so far for St. Jude. So in total, in 2 years for St. Jude, we've raised almost $6,000. So it'd be like $5,828. So that's not too shabby. We'll take that. All right. That's not so bad. Eyelash falling into my eye. Get out. Michael Harrow, I want the calendar if I win. Well, we'll see which one you win. Peter Brand, seeing a shirt with all these, seeing a theme with all these shiny shirt references. Well, my sister loves Shiny Shirt Week, so she made all this contraband, swag with shiny shirts involved. Cali Bowl, calendar all the way. I want to scare my kids. Michael Hare, whoever's named Anonymous, is going to win lots in this raffle. Red Lightsaber. Whoops. I just lost Red Lightsaber. Where'd you go? Anybody want to explain to me why we should care Pulte's opinion? He alludes to a lot without actually saying anything of substance, and now he's getting AMC like they ain't screwing shareholders. Yeah, like if you're getting to AMC, like, oh, we're gonna take over and actually take over, then that's one thing. If you just be like, I'm gonna become an ape sitting and waiting with the rest of AMC people, then they're gonna do another reverse split. They're going to dilute another several hundred million shares, and the stock price is just gonna go while they pay off like a drop in the bucket in debt. Yeah. And chill face, what is crazy is Jared Kelenic will be batting 8th or 9th for the Atlanta Braves. He'll be batting 8th or 9th for the Atlanta Braves. He'll hit 35 home runs, and he'll have a 919 on base plus slugging in that lineup. He's going to be an absolute stud batting 8th or 9th for them. He'd be batting probably 5th if he was on the Mariners team right now, maybe 4th. Mariners got Mitch Garver. You know, guy's never played a full season in his life, but they're probably going to keep him mostly at DH the entire time so that he can't get injured catching, which is what happens. Is that he got steamrolled by Ohtani in 2019 and broke a bone, and he's just been like breaking bones and shit ever since. So, but if he can keep on top, do nothing but hitting, that guy can hit 40 home runs and do all right. In a lineup that's going to suck. So, way to go, Mariners. He's got the pitching. Pauco Kais is batshit crazy, very much all around cringy. You know, I shook hands with him. I met him briefly. He kind of just blew me off, and I was like, okay, well, like whatever. I was like, hey, we were just talking about Tunisia, and he's from Tunisia, and he's like, I'm not allowed there, and then just like walked away. Like, cool, good conversation. I don't know what you have to do to get kicked out of Tunisia. But, hey, you know, I don't want to talk bad about people, but it seems weird. Jimmy D, all right, baby. Happy episode 400. You are number one handsome man. When I see a notification for your show, I shid, fart, and came. Oh, Jimmy D, should have donated during a charity show, and I can get you a shiny shirt to wear. We can be shiny shirts together. Red lightsaber, remember comment prior to Houston explanation of the proxy fight. I'll wait and see, I guess, but I'm not putting any more money in AMC. I'm not putting any more in AMC. I'm out of AMC. Out. I got out and I made about a 50-cent profit. And I could have made like a $69 profit if I had sold one I should have sold. But no. Anyway, life such as life. Owen Saunders, Merry Christmas, pal. So still no BBYQ development? Still nothing. Still no. That Martinelli's has been chilling in the fridge for months now. We're waiting. Dan BBY is here. Saying, Houston, Adventures with Hunter. Putting money at AMC is like burning the money. Adam Aaron has no respect nor cares about the shareholders. Ding! D, what do you think Pulte's angle is? I think ultimately what he wants is he wants the ability to do a proxy fight with the board of Pulte Homes. He wants to have an army behind him so that when he makes a move, he can be like, I've got 100,000 shareholders who will back me up and you guys are out. I think that's what he wants. And until then, he will get in the meme stock stuff and do what he can in that regard. And yeah, that's what I would think. Turkish is here. Hello, everyone. Andrew Mendio, your real name is Houston Wade? My real name is Houston Wade. M. Neff, Houston, do you do grass? If we mow ass and you become my neighbor in Whistler, I owe you a J. I don't. I'm a square. I am as square as they come, but everyone I know does. So, you know, they can smoke it for me, I guess. Turkish, oh shit. Thanks to whoever gifted the subscription. Much appreciated. Do we have subscription gifts in this show, or was that a last show? You must have gotten gifted one earlier, because I don't see any gifting here going on just as of yet. But thank you to whoever gifted Turkish a membership. Jamaican Maximoff, glad you are feeling better, you sexy man. I'm feeling better, but I'm not 100%. I'm not close to 100% yet. I still have like and I think I may have gotten bronchitis from that cold because everything else is doing all right, but it still feels like there's something stuck in there. Turkish got the little monkey Palpatines. Hi to monkey. Hi monkey. Hello. Yes, oh, you good dog. Yes, you are. You're a sweet good dog. Yeah. Oh, Julio's Miami porn name is Shh. Red Lightsaber. Heard Pulte call into Pee Pee Show one night, and man, it was awkward. Like that one dude in a circle of dudes who keeps trying to be funny and cool, and everyone keeps probably laughing, backing away. I mean, hey, use him while you can. If it turns out he is part of the whole BBY thing somehow through Ancillary, who knows? Fantastic. I will gladly use that. But I'm not going to be buying AMC. That's what I'm not going to be doing. Whisker Biscuit just learned about Richard Russell, the Sky King, over the weekend. What a wild story that was. Can't believe I never heard about before. Richard? Well, now I don't know what Richard Russell, the Sky King is. Richard Russell, the Sky King. Oh, he's the dude who stole the Horizon Airjet and did a barrel roll and crashed it. Oh, yeah. That's who that guy is. Yep. He's a legend around here. And there's t-shirts of the Horizon Bombardier plane. They're like flat like he stole it. Yeah, he was a baggage handler or something at SeaTac, and someone left the plane unattended, and he like hopped in and flew off, and then got in a chase with fighter jets and did a barrel roll, then crashed into, was it Anderson Island? One of the little islands in the Puget Sound. One of the ones down Meow. Is it Fox Island? Fox Island or Anderson Island? I think it was one of those two. Maybe Ketron Island. That was one of those guys. And why he crashed it, I don't know. He seemed to purposely be like, well, it's over. And crash that plane. It was in one of those little islands, and it started a forest fire, and they got it out. Hey, Logic Dustbin gifted some memberships. Human a Person, Antonio Baez, Logic Dustbin. Wait. Logic Dustbin was gifted a membership by Logic Dustbin. Logic Dustbin, that's a hell of a way to do it. Rochelle Sorjan, Question House. I gifted myself one. That's a classic. I like that. What I love about gifting of memberships is that it brings out the lurkers who never comment and like, oh, who is this person watching the show? It's always, I find it intriguing. System 54. Is humanity meant to colonize space, or is space a big pantry of resources to bring back to Earth? Deep space travel seems pointless without wormholes. Thoughts? Space has unlimited resources. Like, we will not need to mine Earth for anything once we get access to space. Maybe still oil because we need plastics. We're in the plastics age. But we don't need to burn oil anymore. And we won't need to burn coal or natural gas. We get to space, we have cold fusion, helium-3 for an infinite number of years. We got all the metals we'd ever need in outer space. No longer need to mine Earth because, there's more platinum in an iron nickel asteroid that's a mile across than we've ever mined in Earth's history. In an asteroid that's 500 meters across, there's upwards of $4 trillion in gold in current prices. So we don't need that stuff. There's enough iron in the asteroid belt, right? So think about all the asteroids in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. There's enough iron in that in today's dollars to turn every single solitary human being on Earth to a value of over $100 billion each, which means metal prices are going to collapse so hard, making manufacturing incredibly cheap once we start getting that stuff. So I would not want to live in space. I would love to visit, do something wild up there for a little bit, and then come back. I think the folks who are going to be living in space, they're screwed. They're going to be dying of weird cancers and osteoporosis and all sorts of stuff if you're up there too long. And unless we have some sort of way to, give people the sensation of gravity while they're in space, they're just going to like decompose basically. All their nutrients are going to flow out of their bones. And when they get back into gravity environments, they're going to be useless. They're going to be blind. They're going to be all sorts of things. So short visits, heck yeah, sign me up. But I do not want to be like living on the moon or in the asteroid belt mining away, because A, terrifying beyond the void for that long, and B, your body's going to fall down. So, yeah. But wormholes, if wormholes exist, cool. Who knows if we make Star Trek warp drives or whatever. I do think that once we start getting colonization of the moon going, we will start having real tests for real speed tests for ships in space. Because like currently you go to Mars, like, slingshot around the Earth, slingshot around the moon, and then you coast to Mars, and it takes 6 months to a year to get there because you're just coasting the entire time. If you could create constant thrust at 1G, right? So 9.8 meters per second would be the acceleration. You could go halfway there, turn around, slow down at 1G until you get to Mars. It'd be a 3-day trip at that acceleration. And you would be experiencing 1G the entire time, so there'd be no bone loss, no atrophy of the muscles. And so when you land on Mars and it's like 1/3 of the gravity, like, woo, I'm so strong and buff. And you could do it in 3 days. And I do think that with cold fusion, we would have the energy needed to create such propulsion over 3 days. Like, we could put a ship at sea, and that ship can chug along across the ocean for weeks, right? For 6 weeks as it goes across the ocean, and then docks somewhere and takes on more fuel, goes another 6 weeks somewhere else. So if we can get that kind of fuel up into space, and then someone can then spend days traveling to Mars and back on that same fuel source, then we can go across the galaxy at 9.8 meters per second. Now, how long would it take to get? Okay, how long until light speed at 9.8 meters squared? Yes. Okay, so 354 days, so about a year. So you could accelerate to light speed if you had constant thrust for 354 days with a cold fusion reactor. So if you start going fast enough, the dilation of space-time would allow you to collect random atoms of fusible material like hydrogen or helium, because you have a big old ramjet in the front of your ship just scooping up the 1 particle per cubic meter that's out there. You wouldn't need to refuel it all. You just collect enough as you're going. And so you fuse all that crap together. So you wouldn't even need, once you get going fast enough, you wouldn't even need to be carrying fuel. You can just use the fuel available to you in outer space. 354 days. That's how long it would take you to be approaching the light speed at 9.8 meters per second squared. So if you were to somehow fall in the Earth's atmosphere for 354 days, if there was an atmosphere, if there's a vacuum and you fell Earth's gravitational pull, it would take you 354 days to reach the speed of light. So there you go. That's not too bad, right? You can go at the speed of light. It takes you a year to get up to speed. And then if you want to go to like Alpha Centauri, then it's like 3 years to Alpha Centauri, and then another acceleration, another 3 years back to Earth. So 8-year round trip. You can get to Alpha Centauri and back, accelerating at 1G. Not too shabby. I say go for it. Scott Paul interview went well. Anybody speak Arabic? I don't. Send us a link to your Bloomberg interview. Andrew Dow, congrats on 400. I remember your first with Jackson Hunter. You two were my starting point. Big love, man. Yeah. Lila, oh yeah. Happy show 400, says D. Anyone follow Ham Short Killer? Dude is the biggest joke. But do be wild, but Ham has people. I was following Ham on Finger, and then Finger didn't quite do. It was doing this regular cycle and hasn't quite boomed yet. I think it does have the potential to boom at some point, but yeah. Andrew Dowell, shame about Jackson Hunter. He was nice. Should get him on as a guest again. He jumps in the chat every once in a while. I think he's enjoying his making music and being done with YouTube. So yeah. Whisker Biscuit 18 days of unnecessary double intros. Whisker Biscuit 0 days of unnecessary double intros. Tremendous, Houston. How did Bill Cosby go free? What hope do you have for MMTLP if such criminals can just pay to get off, literally? Excuse me one sec. I'm dying. Okay. He got off on some weird technicality. They let him out, and it seemed kind of squirrely to me because he had like 70 women who were like, yeah, he drugged and raped me. But there was some weird technicality that they let him out, and I don't think they should have. But MMTLP, speaking of MMTLP, I forgot to put this in here. Let me go there. Go there. Go. Where the heck? Here, I'll refresh. That's what I need to do. Come on. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys saw the thing in Forbes that was posted yesterday. They made a comic strip specifically to make fun of us. And Attack of the Short Sellers. Oh, so they made kind of like this, I don't know, Ripley's Believe It or Not type cartoon. Mythical Beasts of the Night. Or how meme stock investors went culty. So, this dude, Brandon Codin, he's written all sorts of like anti-retail investor articles, bad-mouthing every single stock you can imagine that has been shorted beyond belief. To paraphrase Mark Twain, it's easier to fool people into believing they'll make piles of money than it is to convince them they've been fooled. Here's the story of how stock investors who smoked so much hopium they lost their shirts and their minds. Welcome, patriots. Our story begins in 2014 in a parched corner of West Texas called the Oro Grande, where a company called Torchlight spends $3.3 million for a patch of land hoping there's oil. Torchlight paid $20 an acre. The seller paid $7 an acre a year earlier. The Oro Grande's neighbor is the Permian Basin, is the biggest oil-producing region in the U.S. There's Oro Grande right there, the tip of West Texas. The Oro Grande isn't. Fun fact, Torchlight started as a strippable company. Well, it didn't start as a strippable company. It was a strippable company, and then they got their ticker and turned it into Torchlight ticker because they want to be on the NASDAQ. Now, if there's anything wrong with that, the pump. How has Torchlight attract investors' money into a patch of land that produces nothing but debt? Step 1. Merge with another public company. Metamaterial, June 2021. Well, they were producing oil prior to that, but then COVID hit and oil prices went negative, and then all of a sudden they couldn't sell oil to make money, and the stock price got hammered by short sellers. But they didn't mention that part. They just started in 2021. And the stock will bump. We'll get a bump if short sellers will get screwed. Short sellers make money when shares go down. Fun fact, short sellers aren't treated well. You can talk all day about how much you love a stock when you own it, and that's okay. But when you talk about how stock is overvalued, when you short it, that's called market manipulation. Go figure. Go fuck yourself. Okay, step 2. Invent a fun new way to buy in. New name, MMTLP, new look. Oh, they invented a new way to buy in? Let's see here. He's cute. He's nice. He has sweet crude for hair. Yeah, okay. So MMTLP was not created by the company. It was created by the short sellers. GTS, Ari Rubenstein's company, and Concord Genuity decided to take the metamaterial preferred share, MMAT1, and make a market for it. So they filed a Form 215 with FINRA. Say, hey, we want to make a market for this thing. And FINRA's like, okay, you need proof the company's okay with this. And so they falsified documents. They forged documents as if they were from the company itself and used a whole bunch of documents from 2014 and submitted that to FINRA, saying, yeah, the company's totally cool with it. And FINRA was like, then you've made a market. Your new ticker shall be MMTLP. And it started trading. And then people at Metamaterials were like, what? This isn't supposed to be trading. So they contacted FINRA like, hey, we didn't agree to this. We don't want this trading at all. And FINRA's like, it's kind of too late because it is. So tough shit. So they're the ones who created the ticker. The company itself did not create the ticker. They did not want the ticker to happen. They didn't want it to trade at all. They wanted it to be held by those who bought it and not trade. It was FINRA and GTS and Concord Genuity using falsified documents and outdated documents who then created a market for it. So, Brandon Cocklip, whatever your name is, you already fucked up right here. Boom. You messed up presenting factually incorrect information in your touching little comic strip here. So, yeah. I wonder who paid you to write this. Was it Forbes who paid you to write this, or was it perhaps somebody from GTS or Concord Genuity who paid you to write this? I wonder. I mean, it's really fancy. All his fancy art and everything. So he's cute, he's nice, he has sweet crude for hair. Step 3, hire a sympathetic geologist. Yes. To tell you the $3.3 million patch is worth $9 billion. Well, it's actually probably worth more than that because they had proven reserves of 3.5 billion barrels of oil and 6 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. And so that's what they have there now. Okay. Might as well go big, baby. $9 billion, we're going to be rich, says all the idiots in the crowd. Oh, yay. Oh, many small trade-at-home investors, many. Step 4, use social media and investment websites to persuade people they're part of something bigger. You have to buy MMTLP to screw Wall Street, short sellers. Oh, look at that. He's got the crystal ball. They're probably making fun of me right there. Time for an explanation. We couldn't get Margot Robbie in a sudsy bath like they did in The Big Short, so we settled on the sudsy bathtub. Here we go. Short sellers bet against the stock by borrowing shares for a fee and returning them when the price drops, pocketing the difference. Just try booking Miss Robbie for a gig like this after Barbie. Oh, haha. Naked short sellers, boo, don't borrow shares. They agree to sell them, but they may not have them when the time comes to settle this trade. This is cheating, also illegal. Which brings us back to the Oro Grande. Remember the Oro Grande? The calm of the Oro Grande, where no oil rigs disturb the peace and the clouds and the skies are not cloudy all day. Except there's 5 wells currently producing. They hooked up the pipeline and they're now shipping oil out of the Oro Grande. So, again, factually incorrect. But here's the thing. Investors thought they knew better. By November 2022, MMPLT's implied value based on share price and number of shares trading was $2 billion. Whoa. All investors had to do is believe that what clearly wasn't true. Oh, my goodness. The slump. Flying high, MMTLP's executives saw a chance to cash out. Some might call it dumping, but we never would. You can get in big trouble for dumping stock after pumping it with a $9 billion valuation. The plan was to replace MMTLP with Nextbridge Hydrocarbons. It's the same company. They didn't replace anything. They just changed the name because it was a subsidiary of Metamaterial, and then it became its own standalone company. So they said they were doing it to foil short sellers. Actually, they didn't. They said they were doing it because they didn't want the stock to trade and wasn't supposed to trade. That meant MMTLP would have to die. The execution was set for December 12th, 2022. Oh, yes. It was the execution and not just making it so the stock didn't trade anymore because that's what they wanted in the first place. All this is called financial engineering. But just 2 days before MMTLP was to die, FINRA, Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, an agency that bosses the market, mysteriously halted trading. 64,000 investors. Hey, we got hosed because they did. The same people who bet on the Oro Grande now said FINRA was protecting evil naked short sellers because they were. When they said there was an extraordinary event that was about to happen, They knew it was the fact that the level 2s showed to be 50 trades before the stock was trading in the thousands of dollars when it became close only. All right, fun fact. FINRA eventually said it halted MMTLP trading because it was afraid investors would get really hosed. Yeah, that's what they said, but they're wrong, and we all know it. And if a court case can go through, it'll be proven. Fun fact, FINRA told employees to work from home that week due to the violent threats they received. Yeah, that happens when you screw over 64,000 investors, right? You're bound to have some people who are like, fuck you. For MMTLP investors, naked short sellers were the perfect scapegoats. Perfect scapegoats. They truly believed, check, they were the little people. Naked short sellers are big shot Wall Street. We're pro-America. They want American companies to fail. We're ordinary folks. They're secret plotters. Yes. Justice, no way. In July 2023, the SEC finally did something about MMTLP mess. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the market's top cop, identified the villains, the possible villains. Notice they put the possible in there. The MMTLP executives. Oh, investors couldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe it. Once again, they thought naked short sellers were getting away with destroying America. And has anything happened to the MMTLP executives? No, because they didn't do anything wrong. Still, a false narrative gets pushed. Hey, everybody, I don't have your MMTLP money. The cat does. Oh, lessons learned. Meme stock rebellion was supposed to be about outsmarting Wall Street, finding value in companies the big traders had written off. For example, GameStop. Instead, it's about revenge against a make-believe enemy invented to distract them. Yes, because Concord Genuity and GTS don't exist. And they never, ever, ever, ever forged documents and submitted them to FINRA to create a market for a stock that was never supposed to trade. Right? In the end, 64,000 investors lost millions, with most of them still swearing it was non-existent naked short sellers who robbed them. Meanwhile, NextBridge, MMTLP successor, is talking about selling more shares to fund the search for more oil, of course. Here we go again. So, there's the art team. Credits. So Bob Ivory, Brandon Kokadudin can go suck an egg. Yes. So it's going to repeat again? Oh, no, it's just that first one all over again. So I sent this off to several members of Congress who signed the MMTLP letter, being like, hey, you might want to look into this because these guys are printing falsehoods, like stuff that's factually incorrect, blaming the victims, the people who held the stock, and basically saying that GTS and Concord Genuity had nothing to do with any of this, even though they're the ones who forged documents and submitted outdated documents in their 215 form in order to create a market for a stock that was never meant to have a market against the company's wishes. They're basically saying the company created this. They did not in any way, shape, or form. So suck a big fat dick, Brandon Cockadin. Got enough cocks in your name, you can go suck them all. So there you go. That's what I have to say about that. Blah. So yeah, there's your MMTLP update. They're worried because last week 78 bipartisan members of Congress signed a letter to FINRA and the SEC being like, hey, your answers aren't cutting it. We're looking at what the data we have in what you are saying does not fit. You did not halt that stock to protect the investors because you did not protect anybody when you did that. And your claims are bullshit. So let's get to the bottom of it. Give us the data we need to finish our investigation. So this to me says that the big boys are panicking. That's why they have to create fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic artwork. They did a great job with the artwork. They did a fantastic job with it. Much better than the writing, that's for sure. So yeah. Where were we? Oh, it's a tremendous question there. Yeah. Comfy sofa. I'd like to say my wife put me up to the bus stop joke. You made her day. Has your wife Jason Blackwell? Yogi 2012. I think I'm going to buy back an AMC just so I can vote for Pulte. Get your one share or whatever. Ted Tremendous, what do you see happening in 2024? Logic says it will overall be boring. What's most likely? Presidential death, Trump election, terror attack, wars, or just more of the same? Maybe good stuff. I think 2024 is going to be a shit show, personally. I think Trump's going to win the primary, but he's going to be convicted in multiple jurisdictions and be sentenced to prison in multiple jurisdictions. So probably in federal prison by the time, or he'll be reported in federal prison by the time the Republican convention comes around. And then it's going to be a cannibalistic slugfest to see who's going to be the nominee at the convention, because they won't be able to make it Trump. And you'll have a bunch of Trump sycophants who are all running for vice president right now, firmly believing that Trump's going to be nominated and one of them is going to be vice president. And then they're all going to try to become president, but they're all going to be too closely tied to Trump. And so they're probably going to pick, my guess is Mike Pence, who dropped out, and probably dropped out because he thinks there's going to be a convention fight, or the governor of Wyoming, what's his name, who he's like, I'm a hard right Republican, but I do think the earth is dying. That's why he was on 60 Minutes the other week, because, you want to get that executive in there and try to appeal to the middle. So I think that whole interview on 60 Minutes was his play to become the nominee at the convention. Outside of that, commercial real estate will collapse entirely. Housing real estate will probably start to feel the pains of things. It's interesting to see what happens when the reverse repo dries up. They still have the bank temporary transfer, whatever thing. And that's a way for them to get money, but they have to pay that back eventually. And with the liquidity crisis that's forming, they may not have cash to pay back anything. So it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird, I think. Human A person. Whoops. I just lost Human A person. Human in person. Waiting is easy if you just imagine this play never happened. Life goes on. It's true. You just sit there. Like I was saying back in like May and June, if you invest money into BBY, consider it gone. Just poof, just in your brain, it's gone and I'll never see it again. And then you twiddle your thumbs and either you're zero or you're hero. And there's not going to be anything in between. So it's a lotto play. That's all it's been from the get-go. It's a lotto play. Twiddle them thumbs and pray to the powers that be that they do the credit bid and everything becomes thumbs up with their really, really strong twiddling thumbs. Just flexing so hard. And that's what you do. I'm not your friend. Congrats on show 400. Still double intros. Love it. Let's go 400 more. Hayes Production, Houston. What's going on with options on January 19th? Gmae has 140,000 call options at $100, but also other big companies also have weird options trees, price movement week of or week after. Well, I think a lot of the calls that are in the $100 range or above are because if you're going to buy way out of the money calls, you want to do them far away because the likelihood of the stock reaching that point is much higher, and they're cheap when they're far away. And that high. So I think that's a big reason why there's a whole bunch at that level. Now, what you want is you want 140,000 call options at like $20 so that the delta goes bonkers and you start to get a gamma squeeze going. That's what you want. Oh, monkey dog. Look at you. Look at you. Huh? Yeah? That's 3:30. Could be time for some stinky beef. Yeah? Oh, stinky beef. Stinky beef. 100% beef strip. I do. One small stinky beef. Come and get it. Come and get it. There, oh, you got it. All right. Oh, so stinky. Tilted my head right into the stinkiness. So price movement week of or week after. Well, we'll be on the 3rd anniversary of the sneeze, baby squeeze. I'd be curious to see what happens with derivatives, with swaps that are pushed out. Now, we got that really giant weird swap that got pushed to January 8th. Who knows where it's going to go from there? And they switched currency. They switched from euros to Canadian dollars. We have Citibank not following through on bond payments and derivative payments they have. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a better idea when we get through the Christmas week and past New Year's and start to see what's happening. Ted Tremendous. Interest rates lower, mortgages reset, helps more people sell homes, positive economy, markets overall. Seems like 2024 could be a good economy. AI is amazing and growing. Why not? Boom. Because if you lower interest rates before we get below 2% inflation, then you're going to create stagflation, which is something that takes like a decade to get out of. So you may have a slight boom happen, but home prices are still too high. They're way too high. We've got 45% of homes being purchased by private equity and not by homeowners. Those are stats that create more of a speculative bubble that will crash even harder when it does crash. I don't think, the Federal Reserve may be dumb enough to lower rates before we get below 2%. That's what Japan's doing right now, and Japan's absolutely just biting the pillow because they're going in dry for their entire economy. They're going to create an even worse stagflation problem than they've had since the 97 financial crisis. So, I personally think the Fed should have raised one more quarter point, just to shut up Wall Street. Just be like, quit hoping that we're going to cut, because we're not going to cut until we're below 2% inflation. That's basically what they should do. And the fact that they haven't raised, they've been like holding steady, hoping things work out, is not going to do it. You gotta be cruel at least one more time to get the Wall Street guys to shut the fuck up, because the Wall Street bubble is gigantic. The housing bubble is gigantic. The commercial real estate bubble is gigantic. You've got 3 huge bubbles that all need to pop before things can get back to normal, before you can start printing again, and before you can cut interest rates and spur investment. Because right now you got tons of rich people with way too much up here, and a very small middle class and an ever-growing impoverished class, and they aren't seeing the benefits of any of this. They're seeing, I can't afford a place to live, I can't afford to eat, I can't afford insurance, I can't afford gasoline. What's all this like whoop-de-whoop-de you guys are talking about, because we're not seeing any of it. And you're gonna have to shave a whole bunch off the stuff up here in order to buoy what's down here. Trickle down ain't trickling right now. So I think 2024 is going to be a weird one. Comfy Sofa BBY did see a tweet earlier saying 6th Street tweeted Bruno. They contacted Bruno. Bruno wrote them an email saying, hey, are you guys making a play on BBYQ? And they're like, we cannot talk about that right now. So obviously, you are a BBBY investor. We will pass your information along to the plan administrator. So they are mum's the word at the moment. Michael Harrow, it's the end of the year. What are your top 5 news stories of the year? Top 5 news stories of the year. Russia losing 357,000 soldiers so far in less than 2 years of a 3-day military action. That probably should be up there. The terrorist attack on October 6th, 7th in Israel, leading to 80 days of bombardment in Gaza to get Hamas, which they're not getting Hamas with the bombardment. All they're doing is just leveling the entire country and creating millions of refugees who are now wounded, starving, dehydrated, and it's a humanitarian crisis. Like, that's not how you get rid of terrorists. You don't bomb the civilian population and then create future terrorists 15 years from now. That's just, we need to learn a lesson there at some point. That's two. What ones do I throw in there? The solid room temperature, solid state superconductor that didn't pan out. It got us all our hopes up, and then nothing happened. What else would I put in there? Animals. Got two more to think about. Elon destroying X is a good one. Basically telling all of his advertisers to go fuck themselves, and then being like, I can't afford the company anymore. So, and then a lot of that started last year, but there's still disasters going on there. I need two more. The railroad strike that wasn't. We probably should have had a railroad strike. Probably should have shut down all freight and passenger rail across the country. Had a strike. Get those employees what they needed. Instead, the Biden administration was like, no strike. And then nothing really got fixed. Railroad employees are absolutely screwed big time as far as like money, time off, scheduling, etc. And then probably the combination of actors strike and writers strike and the auto workers strike. So all three of those groups struck. The writers and actors got exactly what they wanted. So they shut down the entire industry for months. Or I should say the producers shut down the entire industry for months and not giving them what they wanted, and finally relented and gave them everything they wanted anyway. So you could have just like been making movies and TV shows and commercials for 7 months and just given what they wanted at the get-go, and everyone would have more money today. But no, you morons decided to lose everybody money for that entire period and then give them what they wanted anyway. And then the auto workers did a rolling strike, shutting down one plant here, one plant there, until they basically got everything they wanted. Slightly less than what they asked for. They're asking for the moon, and that's how you negotiate. So yeah, there's that. Those are probably my top 5. Others will pop in my head, and I'll be like, oh no, I should put this one in the top 5. But there you go. Lindsay Amon, have you read Jake TB's recent DD? He said we will end the year with a bang. I hope so. I personally don't think anything's happening until that pump and dump case is out of the way. If something happens before then, I'll take it. Gladly. I will high five everyone's grandma and woohoo all the way to the bank. But I don't think anything's happening until the pump and dump case gets out of the way. Tony Sparks just did $200. Love your content. Keep the good work. Well, thank you, Tony. So that pushes us over, right? Where was it? Got to go there. See where we are. Go there. Go to my channel. Go live. Click on that one. And we're at 1939. So it hasn't registered yet, but right on. Excellent. So we're 1939. Yay! Citizen 54 recordings, emails show how Trump team flew fake elector ballots to D.C. in final push to overturn 2020 election via CNN. Yeah, Trump's going to lose the Georgia case in a huge way. He may get indicted in other states, maybe in Arizona, maybe in Nevada. Arizona and Nevada have already indicted other people involved, and usually you indict them, you pressure them to flip on the person who's the bigger fish, who's up the org chart, and yeah, so there you go. But he's screwed. He's not coming out of. He's got 4 criminal cases, all with copious amount of felonies. He's not coming out of that without a jail sentence in there, a prison sentence. Karen Mirza, Happy New Year. Here's a Blue Sky code. There you go. Somebody get a Blue Sky code while you can. Ludicrous Speed, if we could figure out a way to force an accurate share count on any of the meme stocks, we'd probably show that they have multiple floats locked up on BBY, GME, etc. Exactly. This is why we need things like blue sheets. Oh, time for another raffle. This raffle shall be ornament time. Shiny shirt, Christmas tree ornament. You can put on your tree next year. Random name generator. Go. Bing! Belgian whale. For your Belgian Christmas tree next year, Belgian whale. Belgian whale. Ornament. Boom. Should I do one more? How about for the mug? Ding, ding. Look at that sexy reclined position. Okay, we'll do one for the mug here. Who's gonna get the mug? Diddle 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 bing. And low B. Low B. Not Leo B, but low B. Low B. Mug. All right. There's 3 items out of the way. We got 3 more to go. We got 2 calendars and a shiny shirt. So we'll get there. We'll get there, right? No, you're looking at me as if you're getting more stuff. You're not. You're not getting anything. You silly little dog. Tony Sparks, Jimmy D, he is very sexy. Boop, 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 boop. It's the butt chin. That's what does it. All the boys love a butt chin. Is it factory? Weeble is telling me I can't transfer my MMTLP to Fidelity. They say it can't be transferred via the ACAT channel. Is this BS or possible? I don't know. I would, instead of trying to transfer to Fidelity, I would ask them to direct register, because you have to have proof you ask them to direct register if you want to qualify for the shares of Nuco. So there you go. This person, Korean name, 400. Congrats. Thank you. Tony Sparks, Jimmy, do you like men? I'm looking for a boyfriend. Look at this. Sparks flying in the chat. Fantastic, gentlemen. Match made in heaven. There you go. Thomas Norman. I love when I get a notification when I am still up in Denmark. All right. With some hand waves. Video brand is a factory. This is a typical answer. Tell them what you want to do. Let them decide how to get it done. Stipulating what systems or what method will result with a no with little no explanation. Yeah. Also, you can always ask for the compliance officer. Be like, hey, compliance officer, I'm trying to get this thing done. You guys should be able to make it happen. Make it happen. And the compliance officer, you just go, fine, I'll figure out how to do it. So that's another thing you can do. Bill Coyne, humans will never colonize space unless we re-engineer our bodies. Basically a modified brain and a robot. Yeah. Yeah. Nate P, thanks for the Blue Sky code. This is my donation. Well, I'll take it. But St. Jude's is not going to get it. So, yeah, humans, I'm sure we will colonize parts of space. In my master's thesis, I basically talked about how we cannot make it permanent. Like, well, we can have an ongoing colony, but the residents can't be permanent. They can go up there for maybe 6 weeks or 2 months, and then that's it. And then a whole nother crew goes in. Sort of like how we do in Antarctica. Like, no one lives in Antarctica full-time, year-round for 40 years. They go for like 8 or 9 months, and they come back. But we'd make it shorter in space because that's less damage to the body. But basically, you just cycle through. And maybe you have people, there for 3 weeks, a new crew comes in at their 3 weeks, and every 3 weeks you have another 6-week crew. So you have some legacy of how things operate up there. You have them train on Earth, how to do all their jobs, get up there, get a refresher when they get up there from the folks who are currently there, and you just cycle through. Offer them a 5 years wage to go work for 6 weeks mining helium-3 on the moon or maintaining the robots or whatever is going on up there. And they can go make a really killer living working for 6 weeks after they train for, several months or a year, and then they come back to Earth. They got a bunch of money in their pocket, and you're good to go. And you never allowed back in space again because you can't have that much damage to your body. Something like that. MNF Houston, did you see the tweet Roaring Kitty posted March 8th, 2021? It's a video of a frog Mario fighting Wendy in her airship, and once he beats her, he gets an ice cream. I have not seen that. Let's see here. Gotta go to... I cannot type. Boom. So March 8th, 2021. June. He did a whole bunch of tweeting in June 21, didn't he? So I gotta get to March 8th. June. Tweeted like 20 times a day back in 2021. April 16th. Tweeted 5,000 times on April 16th and 15th. Oh my gosh. So many April 14, 15, 16. April 12th. Let's see. It's gonna be, so you guys see how much I'm scrolling here. April 9th. Got a month ago, but he's tweeting 25 times a day. We're down to April 1st. April Fool's Day. Fantastic. Okay, still going. April, March 28th. Gonna go all the way to March 8th. That's so far away. March 24th. I mean, he's tweeted every possible combination of GIF and video link as possible. March 11th, oh, we're so close. March 4th. This one here. March 8th, 2021. So, Frog Mario, destroying things, jumping. 58 seconds. This one's got a ways to go here. Okay, got red turtle shells. Got rings. We got defeating the thing. He gets bone. Gets ice cream cone. Boom. There it is. Ice cream cone. Flashing. Ice cream cone clouds. Coming back to Earth. And the ice cream cone goes to Big Mario. Oh me, oh my, you've been transformed. Shall I change you back with this cone? That's it. Boom. Boom shakalaka. I mean, we can speculate. We can tinfoil. We can find things. I mean, the man tweeted 9 million times between March 8th and June, when he stopped tweeting. So, Quinkydink or planned ahead of time? I have no idea. Wilbur Dodge. I do not see shareholders receive anything until after April 23rd, 2024. Could be that too. I have no idea. Google 136895257087654 730 Roaring Kitty to find the link. Oh, I should just look 2 messages down. D, is it acceptable to take financial advice from boomers who can't spell and don't understand apostrophes? Perhaps. I don't know. Red Lightsaber. What are your thoughts on Nikki Haley not being able to say slavery was the reason for the Civil War? It's literally laid out in the Confederates in their founding documents. Yeah, but you don't want to be a Republican and say that, because if you're a Republican and say that, then they get upset. Yes, it's in the founding documents for the constitutions of South Carolina, Mississippi, Texas, Tennessee, etc., all saying like The entire reason we're breaking away from the United States of America is because we want slaves. And that's the foundation for everything. They'll say states' rights. It's states' rights. But then you can be like, states' rights to do what? Own people. That's what the states' rights they want to maintain. The Civil War is about slavery. Anyone who tells you it was about slavery is somebody who wishes slavery still existed. But they don't want to admit that. It is in the founding documents. You can look at the constitutions of these states when they create the Confederacy, and the articles are all about wanting to own people, and that's why they're breaking away. That is their economic system. It is how they made money. How the antebellum South that was so rich was because they had a workforce they had to pay for, and they wanted to keep it that way. And ta-da! There you go. Beauty Brand, the turnaround she did when that question hit her brain made me stop the clip. Nothing intelligent was going to be said after that reaction. Yeah. John Wan, Earth is our prison. The guards won't let us leave. Well, the guards may have a perfect way to not let us leave if we ever have a Kessler syndrome event where we vaporize everything in low Earth orbit and makes it so it's a death gauntlet whenever you want to leave the Earth. Nate P. Did you see the Bruno tweet where he contacted 6th Street and they could not talk about any of the BBY stuff, sounding like they were under an NDA, which sounds really good. Exactly. Maybe these thumbs will get a break. Bex Houston, happy birthday. Hard to believe it's show 400. We were supposed to be retired 300 shows ago. I know. Oh my gosh. Just make it happen already. What's the holdup, guys? Houston wants his 4x4 RV so that he and Monkey Butt can go travel the Earth and look at cool things, right? Go travel the Earth and look at cool things. Yes. And smash rocks. Yep. That's what you want to do. That's what I want to do too. Yeah, it's true. You hate driving in the car, but you might like driving in the car if you've got like a bed in there, right? Yes. Monkey has gone for a real road trip in 2.5 years now. But it's time, isn't it? Yes, it is. Is it factory? I didn't specify. I just told them I want to transfer it to Fidelity. Weeble's response is that it can only be transferred to AST. Then transfer to AST. B2B brand sounds about right since it's Weeble and MMTLP specifically. In fact, no broker will transfer MMTLP to another broker. Yeah. Michael Anthony, congratulations on 400. I've been here from the beginning. Thank you. Thank you, Michael Anthony, for being here from the beginning. Spending 800 hours with me, or close to it. A couple of short shows in there, but a couple of longer shows. Yeah, we'll call it 800 hours. What's going on with SBNY stock? I have no idea. What is going on with SBNY stock? SBNY. Signature Bank. Looks like it went from 95 cents to almost $2 today. What is going on? It was at 5 cents back on 3 cents back on December 5th. Oh, look at this. So it was at 3 cents back on December 5th and has now climbed almost $2, $1.85. That's weird. That is very weird. It's up 9,150%. What is going on? They're going to be paying out bonds or something? Financial service stocks on the move. Signature Bank stock. I don't see anything news-wise to cause it to happen. Not a clue. Not a single clue. They don't even exist anymore, right? They got seized. So Signature Bank was an American full-service commercial bank, headquartered in New York with 5 private client offices. Yeah, they don't exist anymore. They died. So, don't know. Weird things happen when banks get seized. 2009, I played with Washington Mutual, WAMUQ. I bought it a penny, sold it 2 cents, bought it a penny, sold it 2 cents, did that for weeks. And then one day, a weird court ruling came out saying that shareholders may get paid out on Washington Mutual, and the stock price shot to 50 cents. And I sold that, and I went and spent like 5-6 weeks in Europe on that win. It happens. So weird stuff are happening with this guy right now. Probably something similar. Traveling session, make sure to clip out that rant for future use. So the rant on the comic strip. I'll have to do that, yeah. What's your biscuit? This Forbes article is maddening. Did you see the fucker Doug Sifu is in on the bashing now, blaming us for knowing pump and dump schemes and chasing a short squeeze? Yeah, we're the bad guys for wanting to believe a stock is going to have value. They're the good guys for illegally shorting it into oblivion and then stocking the board full of a bunch of ringers who will make sure it happens. We're the bad guys. Like, we're the bad guys because the AMC board hired a senior vice president of marketing who was in charge of marketing for Radio Shack, Blockbuster, and Washington Mutual. 3 bankrupt companies before he came on board AMC. That's who you want as your marketing director, is the guy who's in charge of marketing for 3 companies that collapsed in a fantastic fashion. But we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys. Not Boston Consulting Group, who you hire to tell you what you want to hear so that you can lay off employees and sell off assets and crash the stock price and do stock buybacks and crap so that your executives make a bunch of money, and then you crash stock price after that when the company absolutely fails because you never reinvest into the people, product, storefronts, or anything. Yes, we're the bad guys. But it's not the guys who sell off all the real estate and then rent it back for a premium, so they lose the massive amounts of equity and collateral they had, and now they gotta rent it back, and so they're spending money that's a loss every year and not building equity. But we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys for believing that American companies should, succeed. But they're the good guys for wanting to crush all of them and make a quick buck and then say, fuck you, and then send a bunch of money over to the Caymans where we'll never get paid in taxes, and our schools further deteriorate and our population becomes even more useless. But we're the bad guys, not them. They're the good guys. They're fine. They born into wealth, and then they take more wealth, and then they offshore that wealth, and then we're the bad guys. Us, you and me, we're terrible, but they're good. We're terrible. We're awful. Doug Sifu, a saint. He's so saintly that his hair has to run away from his eyeballs, and because his eyes are too beautiful and too perfect. They can't mask it at all. Louis 400 been watching this episode 7. Been here for quite a while there, Louis. Video brand feels like the SEC game show investment ads will likely be received the same way. Tyler Wynn. I get BPY 6 months from now to come out with news, or else we're all shills. I think it's got to be sooner than that. That court case, the judge got to make a ruling as to whether the 16B applies and to whether BPY can become the plaintiff. And judging from Rule 16B, the whole thing should just be thrown out to begin with, because it only applies when he bought in, he was an insider, and when he sold, he was an insider. When he bought in, he was not an insider, so that should not count. So, we'll see. Will Flex, did I miss any comments on AMC and Pulte? Want to hear Houston's take on that whole thing. From the rumor mill, from like Pulte's, anointed agent Kais, it sounds like Pulte wants to mount a proxy fight on AMC, which I was hoping for a proxy fight 2 years ago, and a lot of people in the AMC community got really pissed at me for wanting that. And look what happened. Like, you guys got just bent over and run rough. That's what happened. Adam Aron should be gone. Every member of that board should be gone. Every executive officer in that company should be gone, and replace everybody with someone fresh from the community who actually owns shares. That's what should have happened, and what should happen. Yeah. So if Pulte can make that happen, fantastic. More power to you folks. But until that happens, I'm not putting a single dime into it. Oh, I just lost my spot again. Where are we? We're 401. So I got 401. See that clock behind me? Isn't that amazing? 401. I don't have to look at there anymore. I just look at my screen and there it is. 401. I learned to start looking there. D, Houston, you're badass. Pet your pets for me. There's one. Oh, it's a monkey butt. Oh, it's a monkey butt face. And then there's a little jiggly cat. Oh, you're so fat. You're such a chunk. Yes, you are. You were at least 10 pounds overweight. But you know what? We love you, get a little buddy. That's right. You're being scratched so hard. It's like your favorite thing in the world. Okay, there you go. Congratulations. Jay, Republicans hate Pence. Well, insurrectionists hate Pence, but the Republican Party may not want to be catering to insurrectionists when the chief insurrectionist goes to prison right around the time the Republican convention happens in the summer. So Pence, I think, dropped out because if he's not part of the shit show that's happening in the primary where everyone's trying to like suck off Trump as best they can to be named vice president, because the entire presidential primary is not, I want to become president. The entire presidential primary is, I want to be Trump's vice president. That's what the entire thing is. And Pence has been there, done that, and Trump tried to have him killed on January 6th. So that's why he's like, I'm going to step back. I'm going to close down my campaign. And then when the primary, the convention happens and they got to pick somebody to be the nominee, I am not tainted with all the garbage that'll be going on during the primary campaign. And I think that's his move. He may not get the selection, but I think that was the play he's making. Crossbones, anyone else think this BBY shit is all make-believe week after week with nothing but speculation heavily wrapped in tinfoil? I mean, things are happening. The company is bankrupt. There is a dip facility that's owed a pile of money the company can't pay. And they have the right to make a credit bid. So that's where we're waiting on. D, no Trump indictments in top 5 stories. Oh, yeah. See, I should put Trump indictments in there. See, that's the problem. You think top 5 and yeah, people bounce some off you before. That probably should be in top 5. Yeah. Replace the fake superconductor with Trump. There we go. And 9, a few minutes behind, what about Hunter's dick being shown to Congress? I mean, that's a newsmaker, but I wouldn't consider it a top 5 story. Because we saw it months ahead of time. So, dude's got a hog. Okay, I'll hand it to him. But yeah, why they showed it to Congress and on C-SPAN, you got me. Any space news you got excited about this year? I mean, the space news I talked about most this year was the initial explosion of Starship. I called that one because they didn't have a deluge or trench, flame trench, and it blew up and it destroyed the launch pad and caused all sorts of damage and fire and shot concrete dust like 6 miles away and destroyed a bunch of engines, and then it blew up in space, and it was just a big giant disaster. I think Starship is going to continue to be a disaster until the management at SpaceX kind of figures out how to keep Elon from affecting anything. Like the previous management for Falcon 9 was basically like, Elon would be like, I want to do this. And the management would go, yes, sir. And they tell the engineers, don't do anything you just said. And that's how it worked. And then it became a very successful launch vehicle. Starship is very much a bunch of Elon ideas. And the biggest problem with a bunch of Elon ideas is that he's rehashing ideas from like 60 years ago that didn't work and couldn't be routinely successful. The Americans early on in the Saturn V program realized, hey, we can't have 30 engines. We have to have just a few engines, make them real big, make them real powerful. Because we can't afford to have multiple engines go out and, disasters happen. The Russians tried it. The Russians tried to have like 30 engine large rockets, and they became miserable failures, and they had to abandon the entire program. So Saturn V never had an accident, never had a crash, never blew up. All its test flights were successful. The Starship is using the Russian card, and the Russian card failed, and Starship is failing. So, maybe don't do the things in the past that failed. There's a reason why, people like Newton talk about standing on the shoulders of giants, right? Because you take what works and then you improve upon it. You don't take what has never worked and then try to improve that, because then you just get more expensive failures. For a reusable rocket, it has not been very reusable so far. And I think having 33 engines on a rocket is probably a bad way to go. They may get to work eventually, but I would not want to be the first person to fly that thing in human flight. That would be fucking terrifying. Because you'd be like, well, it imploded. There we go. It's all gone. Controlled demolition. MS, yeah, Houston, what's the deal with IEP staying so low? Way below where it's been for years. They did cut the dividend from $2 a quarter to $1 a quarter. So that should half the price. But it was already pretty cheap at $50 for getting $2 a quarter. You're already getting, $2 a quarter, getting $8 a year, which is like 20%, which is almost 20% return, which is fantastic. When it's $50. Now it's bounced around $17 or so. And you're getting greater than 25% return on the stock. That's really, really good. But I think the shorts are hammering it. That's the only thing I can think of. Anxiety Lord, congratulations on 400 shows. I've seen all but the first 300. Got here late. That's okay. You're allowed. Truly damaged. Cedar fever sucks, Houston. Know any remedies? I've been saline blasting for relief. I am allergic to cedar pollen. I don't know if that's what you're referring to as cedar fever. I just take drugs, antihistamines. I was doing Zyrtec. Now I'm doing Allegra. Zyrtec makes me have fire burps, and I didn't like that. So now I'm on Allegra. That seems to do all right with my allergies. Yeah, straight tires, sore throat, running nose, difficult smelling, itching, fever. Yeah, take antihistamines, man. That seems to be what you should do. Yeah. Ludwig Vladimir Dorner, Hasten. Did the 90 days period mean nothing then? The exclusion period? Well, exclusion period standard is 90 days, but apparently, according to the transcripts from September, they granted an extension to January 18th. And who knows if there's been another extension granted, because we have not seen other transcripts. But that's where we're sitting. We're sitting on an extension to January 18th. But Checo Ron, Houston. How vulnerable are blockchains to being wiped away by a Carrington type event? Geomagic storm. I have no idea what big server farms have done to shield themselves from a large event like that. Do they have Faraday cages around those buildings? Not a clue. So if we have a huge geomagnetic storm, like we did in 1859, where it was visible in the daylight, it will knock out satellites. It will make cars not work. Power grids will go down. Computers won't work. Watches will stop working. It will be a really, really, really big event. Now, if server farms are on and they're not protected, they're not shielded for such magnetic things, then they're toast. So if you've got wallets in servers, farms, and stuff like that, they may have to like take out the disk drives in those servers and then put them into new drives to get everything back. It's going to be a very expensive, painstaking process. Basically, the entire internet could go down. Your cell phones could stop working. If we get news, because we've got solar observatories that are sitting looking at the sun at all times in Lagrange points. And if we get news like, hey, there's a huge, gigantic magnetic storm coming to the Earth, it's going to hit us in 33 hours, turn off everything. Unplug everything. Turn off everything you got. Even take the batteries out. You don't even want like trickle currents going through stuff. Get Faraday bags. Put your phones in it. Like wait for the storm to pass over, and then you can plug everything back in again, and hopefully it'll all work. But a giant solar cycle 10 or whatever they call it that happened like in 1859, that's going to knock us back to the Stone Age. So when that happens, you're not going to be able to use Bitcoin for anything. People want like gold and spices or something. Tremendous. Republic side with Trump. Say everyone overvalues real estate. Seems like he will get off. Optics not good on this case. Opinion matters above law. Sad to say, Trump seems likely to be president 2024. I think he gets convicted. I think he gets convicted at least one jurisdiction before the convention. He's got at least, I think, 3 trials. He got one in February, one in March, and then one in May. And the last one is that be the Georgia case, the last one, Monkey? And they're thinking next fall for that one. So he may be in orange jumpsuit already by the time he's getting tried in Georgia. So, Tilray moving good today? Yep. Judgment FTX completely crashed and crypto seems fine. So if Kenny G went down, seems like it might not cause that big issues to markets. True. Yes. I mean, that's in the GameStop hearings in 2021. The other market makers basically said, yeah, if Citadel goes down, no one will care. We'll be fine. So we don't necessarily need Citadel to front run all these payment for order flows. LC Malaysia OFW with some, I thought those were snails, but I think that's somebody with headphones waving. So hello, LC Malaysia OFW. Spicy Berta tweet right now. Where did my John Berta. Whoops, that's John Nerda, not Berta. Berta. Spicy Berta tweet right now. 18 minutes ago. Just to get this correct again, the CEO and management and Matt were in charge of the Series A preferred when it became tradable. I was the person who notified OTC that it wasn't supposed to trade. I was the one who called the company to plead with them that this was not supposed to trade. I was no longer CEO of management, nor was McCabe. I didn't sell a single share of Torch in 12 years. I only sold Matt recently once they fired GP. Sick of the BS. I sold about 300,000 my 2.2 million MMTLP towards the latter months. It was trading for my own purpose, which I was entirely in my right to do. First sale in 12 years, by the way. Also, since there were times I had no public info, I took off my GTC trades until such time as the info I had knowledge of was public. These fuckers insinuating that me or McCabe scammed everyone is complete BS, and we will not sit quietly let it happen. The scammers are the ones who sold short without borrows, got options trading in order to short further with fake locates, and had to get the Series A preferred to trade in order to buy back the preferred shares they had to deliver with all the help of an SRO and the OCC. Do your homework. It is out there. Why would the OCC postpone settlement by 4 months and assist bad actors in getting Series A preferred shares to trade against company wishes? Is that not collusion? Why has TradeStation told their clients that they do not have enough shares to allocated to them in order to send their shares to AST? You read that correctly. They do not have people's shares. This is just one instance of what I believe to be a much bigger problem. The reason they won't do a share count is it will tell the entire story. I believe the SEC have it and don't want the real plumbing exposed. If they did release the share count, we could compare that to the shares of Nextbridge hydrocarbons that were allocated by the DTC and find out who has failures to deliver, or failures to receive, and force settlement of the trades. Now that we have Congress behind us, all of this comes out, and these people who have nothing to gain pile on just as a coincidence. The articles only come out when we are getting close. Keep pushing for the truth. I think the biggest joke is the belief that the naked shorting doesn't happen. Tell that to Sabby, tell it to Citadel, tell it to Goldman, tell it to South Korea, and many more of our revered institutions. A simple SEC search certainly tells a different story. We will not quit this fight until everyone who has had a hand in this potentially massive theft is exposed, release a share account, and all this goes away. No more BS, no more opinions. There you go. Boom. Roberta with a spicy tweet. It is fucking shady. Like, why would you spend that much time and energy making a cutesy little comic book like a Ripley's Believe It or Not, a newspaper, only to shit on retail investors using false information, knowingly false information in your special little article? It's bullshit. It's a PR stunt. It's propaganda. Those dudes were definitely paid off by somebody to make that thing, and it wasn't Forbes who did it. Hey, you're allowed to make an article for Forbes, so how about I pay off your home loan and you shit on retail investors for me? That's probably what's happening. Coffee Notes and Homer. I know you don't like Marantz, but he did a good GME show, broke down the stats, etc. Yeah, I won't watch Marantz. The guy's an asshole. I'll try to avoid talking shit about people, but I'll talk shit about Marantz. That guy's a fucking dick. He's an asshole, period. And I want nothing to do with him. So, yeah. He's banned from the show. He was banned from my Twitter account. I had to ban him on Reddit. He's just an asshole. And I don't know, he's fucking crazy. And I don't want to deal with him. Tremendous. Got a waiting. A guy going like this. A this and a cry. Retail investors, this was the emoji version of Forbes MMTLP piece. Painter and Blumpkins. Best movie you saw in 2023. Excuse me. Best movie I saw. I haven't seen too many movies this year. I'm a terrible judge as to what movies, because like I haven't seen anything that's been nominated or will probably be nominated for an Academy Award. Like, not a damn thing. So I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I thought that was actually the best Guardians of the Galaxy of the three of them. Did I see anything else this year, Monkey? That is a movie? I just watched a lot of Star Trek. That's all I've been doing all year is watching Star Trek. So, I can't even think of other movies I watched this year. So it must be Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is probably the best because it might be the only movie I saw this year. So, there you go. I am terrible at the movie reviews. I watched a lot of 1980s karate movies this summer. So, they're all terrible though. A lot of like American Ninja and a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme straight-to-video movies. So, no, I did not watch any high cinema in any way, shape, or form. Julio, Trump just disqualified from running in Maine in 2024. So now he can't get votes in Colorado, he can't get votes in Maine. And Maine splits their votes, so that means Trump can't get any electoral votes in Maine. Coffee Notes and Homer, is GME IMX partnership ending? Will that be bad for GME if it's over? I have not heard anything about that, so I don't know. I'll have to look into that one. Coffee Notes and Homer, anyone understand new math? It seems as if they added steps to get the same answer. What gives? You're talking about Common Core? Common Core is like, I wouldn't say that I teach Common Core, but I teach something that's kind of similar. So throughout most people's school life, most adults, you like 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. And you just go on from there. Like 2 times 4 is 8. And you just memorize the periodic table, which I think is good. I think everyone should memorize the multiplications table. Everyone should memorize the multiplications table. Memorize the multiplications table is the next most important thing to knowing how to read. Like if you have the multiplications table memorized, your life is so much easier and it's so much harder to screw you over when it comes to someone who's like scamming you or deals at the grocery store. Like memorize your multiplications table. But a lot of folks don't understand what they're doing. They can be told you do this and you get this, and they go, okay. And you do the next step, and you can make really fancy equations, and they can work their way through them and get an answer, and they have no idea what it means. So Common Core, what Common Core is trying to do is trying to establish what these things mean. And so you get told, 2 times 2 is 4, but then you have the Common Core way of figuring it out, where you have, okay, you've got 2 sets of 2 coconuts. How many coconuts do you have? And you're like, oh, there's 4 of them. All right, that's kind of establishing that. So, okay, now you got 300 times 24. You got 300 sets of 24 coconuts. How many do you have? It'd be 600 and blah, blah, blah. Right? So that's sort of the new math. The way they're doing it is trying to get people to sort of discover the reasons behind this mathematics, which I think makes it stick longer when you do understand it. But some people will never grasp that. And those people will be the ones who whine the loudest. Like every math class I ever taught, I have 25 students. I got 5 who don't need me. Like they know it. You put the equation on the board, like, yeah, dude, I get it. Whatever. I don't need to do my homework. I got it. They're fine. They're cool. They get to live their lives, whatever. You got 20 people in the middle. Oh, you got 15 people in the middle, right? 50 people in the middle who have to work at it. And you got some with incredible work ethic on one side. They're going to be fine. And the people that have to work at it, they don't have the greatest work ethic, they're going to be borderline, right? Like you need to do this over and over and over again, and then something's going to go bing in your brain, and you're going to get it. But until you work at it over and over and over again, you are not going to be with the A grades over here. And then you got 5 people, 1 in 5 people in the class. So you have 25 students, 5 students in there who, no matter what you do, no matter what they do, they're never going to get it. And you know what? That's okay. Some people weren't meant to be mathematical geniuses, and they're going to be doing other things with their lives that are not math intensive. But they might be able to pass the work very hard. They might be able to get that D. Otherwise, they're just kind of, they're lost. Nothing's going to happen with them. Now, the people who were in that group of 5, right, and they're adults now, they're now seeing their kids do Common Core, and they're pissed off. They're like, how dare they? That's not how we learned it. And like, buddy, you never learned it the first time. So you're not going to be able to figure it out the second time around. Like it's, I don't know. I have no problem with Common Core. It creates a root basis in how the mathematical discovery was made. And a lot of mathematical discoveries, like people don't necessarily understand. They just get told like, pi. You guys probably know pi 3.14, blah, 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 blah. But do you even know how it was discovered? I doubt it. No one here probably knows how pi was discovered. So, with our last 6 minutes here, let's show you how pi was discovered. Okay. So we got you. I need that and turn you off. All right. So, boom. I got to make you bigger. Come on. Make you bigger. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so we got a square. Doop, 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 doop. Try to make this as square as I possibly can. And we have the dimensions are easy. It's 1 on that side. It's 1 on that side. So a square, it's a 1 by 1. Now, I believe it was Euclidean. It was Archimedes. Ah, crap. It's one of those guys. One of them decided to make a circle. Whoops. Inside of that square. So, boom. I guess I didn't make my square very square because that looks more like an oblate spheroid. But you know what? We'll deal with it. So what he's trying to do is trying to figure out the circumference of that circle. And he's like, oh, I'll make a square on the outside. And I'll make a square on the inside, right? And we'll measure the sides of these things. So, boom. Okay, so you knew that the outside one was 1 by 1. Diameter of the circle is 1 by 1. And he's like, okay, the inside. We measure these inside, and it ends up being, he averaged them out. So this is 4, and this ends up being like 3 or something. He's like, okay, maybe if I add more sides, I can figure it out. So I'll do one on the outside, and we'll figure out. Okay, I gotta make that a little bit bigger. And I'll measure that side, I'll measure that side, I'll measure that side, measure that side. And it starts getting a little bit below 4. And he makes one of these suckers on the inside, right? Inside of the circle. And touching there. And where is... Oh, yeah. Oops. There we go. That's probably as good as I can get that one. And now it's like 3.06. And he started doing this until he got to like 512 sides on his polygon. And he started getting like approaching 3.1457 blah 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 blah. And that's how pi was discovered. Was that the circumference of a circle was really close to a multi-sided polygon, and that's how we got pi. And he did that over and over and over again, shaving off corners until he got to the point where it's like, oh, the circumference is 3 point whatever of a circle. And that's it. That's how the circumference of a circle was discovered. Basically, when you're making video games, you don't make perfect circles, you're making polygons. And doing those polygons are really, really hard for computers. So back in the day, Lara Croft had really pointy boobs because making boobs that weren't points was difficult for the computer to render. And now the more powerful computers can make, infinitely sided polygons. They're close to circles and we're happy. But that's if you're going to do Common Core math, you're going to have the students discover that themselves. They're going to show them, okay, you got to figure out how big this circle is. And you're going to coax them along, showing they can do squares inside and outside of it, and they can kind of average them out, and eventually they can make polygons with 512 sides or more on them, and be like, oh, this is how you got pi. Rather than just being like, pi is this, which is what I learned. Pi is this. And I was probably 33 years old before I finally read something that explained to me how pi was discovered, and I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. So... there you go. That's my Common Core rant. Okay. Where am I? Julio de Satan 2024. Yeah. Okay. When is Scott going to be a guest on Houston's show? None of my shirts are cool enough. Scott, want to come on the show? Oh, we're going to discuss that. It was right. You said you're going to be free after the 15th, and then I got sick, so I didn't do anything about that. So yeah, we can get Scott on here one of these days. There is no American Ninja. There is. Michael Dudikoff was American Ninja in 2 of the 5 films, I believe. Usually, if you didn't see John Wick 4, you're slacking. I did see John Wick 4. I did see John Wick 4. But didn't that come out last year? That was a 2022 movie. I don't know. It's all blurring together at this point. Fonzie was original John Wick. They jumped the shark halfway through the second John Wick. After that, it was just brain rot for me. I mean, the fight scenes are fantastic. The plots are entirely pointless to that point forward. Houston, do you prefer polygon boobs or circular boobs? Personally, I think I would probably prefer circular boobs, but then I am tactile, and having a weird texture surface would probably fascinate me. So I could probably, be happy either way. Okay, it's time, monkey. Behind me it says 4:30. 4:30. All right, fat cat. All right, little dog. Is that it? That is for us today. That's it for us. I'm going to try and do a show tomorrow. Javier Martinez should watch Godzilla -1. I heard people say Godzilla -1 is the best movie of the year. Scott, my old roommate, who's the filmmaker, he says it's an incredible movie. So I will just try to watch Godzilla -1. Yeah, I'm going to try to do a show tomorrow. I have no idea if it'll be daytime or after dark. We'll find out, right? So, monkey butt, kitty cat, you guys are good? I'm good. Peace. It's not quite dark outside yet, so we'll do the classic. Oh wait, I can't. Oh my goodness, I didn't finish the raffles. We can't finish yet. Never mind. We got a raffle. I have 3 more things to raffle. Duh. And then we can. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do nature's. Whoops. Oh god damn it. Double intro. Man. Turn off the daytime one, you butthole. Nature's cocks. Nature's dongs calendar. We're gonna raffle this one off. Okay. We're gonna go open up the Chrome. All right, go. Who's gonna get this one? Who's gonna get this one? Nature's cocks, nature's cocks, nature's cocks. Wrong conclusion is the second winner because he was the largest donor. Therefore, he's gonna get multiple things. Wrong conclusion gets that and dong calendar. Okay. Next up, we've got the shiny shirt. The wonderful shiny shirt. I have my own version. We can both, agree to wear them at the same time so that we are representing. So, shiny shirt was going to go to Bing, Crayon Green. It's going to Canada. Crayon Green gets the shiny shirt. Crayon Green shiny shirt. And the big kahuna, the one everyone wants, the giant shiny shirt calendar for 2024. This one is going to go to wrong conclusion again. That's what you get for being the largest donor. Wrong conclusion gets 2 calendars and some coasters. So wrong conclusion. If you want these things, or if you don't want them, send me a message on Reddit. By being the largest donor for this round, you also get to pick our charity for January. So by all means, jump in there, and we will figure it all out. I'll get an address for you, and we will send this on your way. So, used calendar, and I don't know if you want 2 calendars. Maybe we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Gonna get deported from Canada with that shirt. Okay. All right. So for now, for real, I am now signing off. Everything's been raffled off. Winners, message me with addresses or tell me to go fuck myself or whatever, and I will do another raffle for people. I'll keep the names in there, and we'll go on from there. Right? Cool. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye.